I watch these interviews on YouTube or wherever on TV with people that I like, with people that I admire, people that I think I could interview better, or maybe not interview better, but it just makes me think about, there was a podcast with Tim Ferriss and this journalist for the Rolling Stone, Cal Fussman. And I remember they were saying, like, when he would interview these people that normally they never gave interviews, or if they did, they were never really any good, but every time he went to interview him, he would get stuff out of them that regular journalists would never be able to, because journalists, and I think even people who are just sort of going through the motions in that kind of conventional interview setting, it seems like there's a template that a lot of people are following. It's kind of like avoid dead time. Like, you don't ever want silence, and just keep asking questions. And sometimes it seems like the questions that they ask are really impertinent, or it would be like if you were interviewing maybe like a chef, like a really renowned chef, and you were asking him like just something really, like, it's like you're sitting down with this person, and this is the question you're going to ask him. You're going to ask him, what do you think would be tips for the average person to be able to cook a little bit better? It's like, come on, what a lame question. Like, that's what you're going to ask this guy, and it almost feels like they don't have the connection that they should have to get something really valuable from this person. It almost feels like you shouldn't be interviewing that person. You don't share that affinity with that person. You never walked in even remotely the same footsteps as that person. Whereas if you take an Olympic weightlifter being interviewed by a fellow world champion Olympic weightlifter, they're on the same page, and they can talk about the same things, and they know what they're talking about. And I'm not saying that every person that's interviewing a professional chef has to have experience cooking at the highest level, but I think they have to have something in common. And I don't know if it's enough to just I don't know if interest is enough. I think there has to be like you've reached a certain level where like all these people in different fields, when they get to a certain high level, it's like they get, in mastering whatever it is they have mastered in their life, they sort of go into this one realm. They all sort of reach their hand, across a barrier into this one area, and different people from all directions. And even though their main field is over here, they all, without knowing it, they sort of cross that boundary. And to me, it feels like if you're going to be interviewing people who have done that, you need to have done it yourself, at least in some degree. And it might be ignorant of me to think that I have in any respect, but